Hi, Brett Swarts here, founder of Capital Gains Tax Solutions, and we are covering in this video the top 7 deferred sales trust investments. Let's face it, when you're deciding to use the deferred sales trust, you want to know, is it legal? Does it work? Who are all the players behind it? What's the track record? But beyond all of that, when you close, you want to know where and how can the funds be invested. So I want to cover my top 7 investments for the deferred sales trust. Number one investment that I really love, and I think most of our clients love, is the ability to invest in commercial real estate. Now, commercial real estate is one of those assets that you can see, touch, and feel. And if you're working with proven operators, or you're a proven operator yourself, or an owner yourself, you have a chance to kind of control your destiny, if you will. We love the ability to be very entrepreneur with the deferred sales trust, meaning you don't have to just depend on someone else to manage the capital. You can actually partner with the trust to build and buy and invest in commercial real estate. And I'll give you a couple examples. The first one is for a client who sold a $2.6 million business in Alabama, and he partnered with the trust to build 72 multifamily units with a partner that he had who was a contractor, and he was the operator and who found the deal and financed the deal and put it all together. But he used the trust to be a silent partner with him in the investment. And so we call it the go fund yourself, meaning that you don't have to necessarily get more capital from a bank or more capital from another partner. The trust can be a silent partner. And honestly, that's the number one for me, because I come from a real estate background and with my family and investments in brokerage. I'm an investor myself. And I just love all things investment real estate, especially multifamily. Also love mobile home parks, self-storage, and senior housing, assisted living. I've done some retail and industrial investments, but that's just kind of my flavor. It may or may not be yours, or it might be a situation where you're looking at investing with the trust, but you're looking to retire from that operations, which is also an amazing opportunity for the commercial real estate investment, in that you can be, the trust can be a passive investor into other commercial real estate syndications. Really phenomenal. It doesn't have to be tied to investments that you're not comfortable with, which leads into a number 2 favorite investment, and that is hard money lending. Hard money lending, where people who have a proven track record with lending are lending to large commercial real estate owners and or people that are doing fix and flips with houses, and they're selling off the debt in a short period of time, which can lower the overall risk of the investments. It's also not necessarily tied directly to the real estate market, which tends to be very high right now. As much as I love investment real estate, I'm concerned that overpaying for properties right now, especially via the 1031 exchanges, don't make a lot of sense. Same thing, we got to be careful with the deferred sales trust not to overpay or over concentrate into one single asset type or one single property, and be subject to these big changes in the market. And so you got to want to be cautious with that. But with hard money lending, it kind of serves as that bridge in between, where you're not tied to the stock market and you're also not tied necessarily to real estate, although you are lending on real estate. Some of the groups that we work with are selling the debt off quickly, which can overall lower the risk. Also, these funds are typically liquid or semi-liquid, and they have a decent return, although they're not necessarily getting the equity, right, assets ownership, which is important in an environment where it's inflationary, right, where you want to really be in hard assets, like stocks or real estate or something, or business, something that you have the ability to increase equity, not just get a return on your money as a lender. So those are kind of some things to consider there. Number 3 would be securities, right? So securities are an opportunity to be into stocks or bonds or mutual funds, or something that is investment grade securities. I'm not a securities professional, but we do work with some of the best. And this gives the trust the opportunity to stay liquid, stay diversified, the funds that is, liquid and diversified, and secured against some of the biggest companies in the world. And we work with a bunch of financial advisors to help with that plan. That's number 3. Number 4 would be ground up construction. Now, I guess you could still kind of say this is number one, but my number one right now is cash flow value add property. So I kind of put it in number four, and for this particular top seven of mine right now. And the reason is right now construction costs are very high, but at the same time buying properties are very high, and so we're at an interesting place where do you want to buy a 20 or 30-year-old property where you could just buy land and build in places that make a lot of sense. We're working with some clients. They're buying some land in Alabama and in Tennessee, and they're building more properties. Some in Texas are doing the same thing. And so I do like the ability to do ground up construction with the trust, where the trust again becomes a silent joint venture partner with you, and those properties are built. In fact, we just did a deal in San Diego. It was a car wash sale. These particular clients sold a $12.7 million property. They bought the land and they built the property, the car wash, and then they ran the business, and then they sold it off for a huge profit. All moved into the Deferred Sales Trust, and then that they're going to be turning around and investing back into some more car washes, but tax deferred, which is really, really cool. Number six would be a business venture, okay? And so this isn't necessarily a real estate venture, but more like a tech startup or a cryptocurrency company or some kind of business venture. You might be an entrepreneur who's using the Deferred Sales Trust and have another creative idea that you want to start up with yourself or with partners. And one of the stories for this is a client. She actually exited cryptocurrency. She bought it for about $30,000 to $50,000, worked for a big tech company, and then it went to $50 million in value. And so she was able to exit $5 million of that $50 million into the trust. And then she used the trust funds, partnered with the trust funds to start a business venture, a technology company, online educational company. And so I love this part about the Deferred Sales Trust because it creates this entrepreneurial freedom, right? She was working for a big company, W-2 job, right? And now she no longer needs to work for that company and can go and build a dream with one of her partners. So that's pretty cool. And then number seven to finish it out is cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is something that I invest in small amounts, and I'm learning from a lot of my clients who are in the cryptocurrency world. And we also have others that are teaching us more and more about that. But a lot of our clients that are using the Deferred Sales Trust are crypto experts. And so the ability to go into these different asset types at any time with the Deferred Sales Trust is an amazing thing that I don't think can be overstated, because like a 1031 exchange, it has to be like kind investment property in a short period of time, and it's typically means you might have too much over concentration in a single asset type. You might be overpaying for a property, taking on too much debt. Whereas the Deferred Sales Trust, being able to diversify into all of these different investments: commercial real estate value add, commercial real estate ground up construction, hard money lending, securities, new business ventures, or crypto, gives you the ability to create and preserve more wealth, diversify, and also keep your funds liquid, depending on the investment, to be able to strike when the iron's hot, which goes right into one of the concepts that we teach at Capital Gains Tax Solutions, which is optimal timing. If you want to learn more about that, you can go to capitalgainstaxsolutions.com. You can subscribe to this YouTube channel that you might be watching this on right now, or subscribe to our podcast you could be hearing this on. But we want to really teach you how to do this. By the way, take a look for our next book that's coming out. It's called The Building a Tax Deferred Exit Strategy, and it's the proven playbook for unlocking your ideal wealth plan when selling assets of any kind for yourself or your clients. We have some amazing people like Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank's going to be in the book, some other commercial real estate operators and experts, and a lot of other folks as well. So we want you to look for that book. If we can help you in any way, just go to capitalgainstaxsolutions.com, register for our free masterclass on the Deferred Sales Trust, and then get started today with your education there and or getting your Deferred Sales Trust going. We appreciate everyone watching this out there, and we will talk to you again real soon. Bye now.